Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to the Guilty as Sim podcast. I'm Katie, aka Peafrog, and this is Renee. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. There's Renee. There's me. We're going to talk about The Sims today, as we so often do.
Do we need to tell people that we're talking about The Sims? I feel like...
Yeah, probably given it.
I feel like the name of the podcast, I would hope, would lend to the fact that we're talking about The Sims, but...
If you didn't know what The Sims was...
I feel like saying we're talking about The Sims if you don't know what The Sims is really not helping anyone.
Eventually, we'll know how to do intros.
Someday.
But it's only episode 2. We got time.
Yeah. We're still little baby podcasters.
Little baby podcasters. Today, Renee has some questions for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they are.
I don't remember how we got on this topic, but we kind of started talking a little bit about Sims lore.
Yes.
So like the history of the Sims and like how things in the Sims are connected and the stories within the Sims. And then it turns out that Katie doesn't know Sims lore.
I really do. I know very little. And the thing is, the thing for me with The Sims is the way that you can create your own characters and stories and strange things. And that's always kind of been what I've done. Quite often I'm just ignoring the pre-mates and the townies. And like, I know who they are, but I don't know if this is one of your questions, but I'm going to say I already know this. Like Johnny Zest being this, like the child of Nancy Langrab. Well, I didn't know that for ages.
Yeah.
Because
that was my first question. We're going to pretend that you didn't say that, and I'll ask you again. It's fine.
I'm not going to cut this out because I want to look clever.
Okay.
I don't know. Why would that make me look clever? I'm about to ask it anyway, but I'm going to.
I don't know.
But that was just an example.
If you feel like it's going to make you look clever, then you leave that in, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I will admit that I'm not super excited about Sims lore most of the time either.
You're not a whore for lore?
No, I'm not. I'm really not. Because I like going in and like creating my own lore as well. I feel like that kind of has been the entire point of the game for a lot of time. Yeah. And Sims 2 just kind of like took the idea that like there were things happening in this Sims world and like really shoved it down your throat.
And I think, to be honest, because my favorite Sims games so far have been Sims 1 and Sims 4.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the least lore heavy games.
Yes, absolutely.
And I don't think that that's a surprise because there was this Twitter quiz that said, this is a quiz about video games, answer all of these questions. And one of them was, name a game that's made you cry. And I was like thinking about it and I was like, I've played so few story-based games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know how to answer that question. I think I cried a little bit at the end of Stray. But I wasn't actually playing it. I was watching my partner Tony play it. Yeah. Really good game, by the way, if you haven't played it. Stray is beautiful.
Yeah, I don't really play story-based games. I cried during Project Zomboid once, but that wasn't because of anything the story did. It was because of what I did.
I don't know if I've cried at The Sims before.
I don't think I have.
I'm more about rage quitting rather than crying about The Sims.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, the original Sims game really did not have that much lore. I even spent this morning like trying to look up some of the Sims 1 lore. And like, I'm not even kidding when I tell you that the neighborhoods were called Neighborhood 1 and Neighborhood 2.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even have names for the neighborhoods at that point. Like we had like a little bit to go off of with like the goths and they had the cemetery in their backyard, but you really kind of had to figure out most of it for yourself.
There were just kind of vague little nuggets of a funny thing or a funny concept or something.
Yeah. Oh,
and I like that.
The way that The Sims has kind of always done lore, and this really kind of changed a lot in Sims 2. Sims 2, they really kind of like threw it down your throat. They like were force feeding you this lore, and they had like all of the relationships already pre-built and that kind of stuff. But like prior to that, and then even after that, it's always just been kind of like hinted at. So whether that be looking at the bios of your Sims or your Sim families, the descriptions of objects have a lot of lore in them. The neighborhood bios have always had a lot of lore in them. And that's kind of like, they brought that back in The Sims 4. And I think people don't appreciate that that's how the first Sims was.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like The Sims 4 is the closest to Sims 1.
I agree.
And I think that's why I like it.
Yes.
There are things that I'm missing from Sims 3, but to be perfectly honest with you, it's the customization options for me.
Yes.
That's what's missing, which is why I'm excited by Life by You, and I've already pre-ordered it. Because it's really, really sandboxy.
I am a whore for Paradox, so like I'll buy anything that they want to sell me.
When I've mentioned that I'm excited for it, people are like, oh my God, I'm never going to stop playing Sims. And I'm like, I don't know what impression you got.
Do you have to stop playing Sims to play a different game? Like, I don't understand that logic.
It's physically impossible to play more than one game in your lifetime.
Yeah. I think we're going to do a whole episode on the whole Life by You and Paralives.
We should do that.
Just kind of all the Viva Life, I think, is another one that's supposed to be coming out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, something along those lines. But we'll do a whole episode about that. Today, we're talking about Sims lore.
Sims lore.
And I want to know what Katie knows.
Keep you back on track, Renee.
Or what Katie doesn't know. Yeah. I'm on it today. Okay. I'm ready because we like to digress.
We do.
So you did already answer my first question that I had. So basically, I have a quiz for Katie. I would say this is the most well-known type of Sims lore, the stuff that people really enjoy, because let's be honest, nobody gives a shit about like the random townies. The only lore that they care about is like the Goths, the Landgrabs, the Altos, like the big famous families.
The Altos, yes. Those are ones I remember the name of.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot about the Altos, if we're being entirely honest. But yeah, so I have a nice...
What the fuck is that?
I have a nice mix of questions here of like lore based around the famous families, but then also like specifically Sims 4 lore, because I can't stand the people that are like, Sims 4 doesn't have any lore. It does. It does. I will say that it is a little messed up that they didn't include some of like the pre-made relationships. Like they should have had relationships between some of these Sims, but there is lore in The Sims 4. You just have to look for it, which is the fun part, in my opinion, but whatever. Apparently, I don't know how to have fun, so... Anyway.
I feel like there's a read for some comments.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I'm sure people are going to have things to say about this episode.
Well, we said things last time that we were like, oh, everybody's going to tell us. Nobody said anything.
I think it's because you can't leave comments on Spotify. That's probably more what it is.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I love quizzes.
Okay, so you already answered my first question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Ask it anyway.
So who is Johnny Zest related to and how?
I think that Johnny Zest is the Landgrab's other son, who is like estranged.
Yes. You're correct. Yeah.
Thank you. Are we keeping score? Because I want to.
Oh, yeah, we can.
How many questions is it?
I have 12 questions.
Okay, so far I got 1 out of 12. That's good. Well, it's 1 out of 1, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not really fair to.
You're at 100% right now.
100%.
That's what matters, okay?
Wow.
Yeah, so Johnny Zest is the child of Nancy and I'm going to preface this by saying that I know his name is Jeffrey. I will not call him Jeffrey, however. I always call him Joffrey. I think it's funny. It makes people angry. So it's Joffrey.
Yeah.
So Johnny Zest is the child of Joffrey Landgrab and Nancy Landgrab, which makes him the brother of Malcolm. We find this out in the Sims bios, and I believe it's in Johnny Zest's bio. I don't think he's mentioned at all in the Landgrab's bio.
Ooh.
Which is, I mean, I guess it makes sense that he wouldn't
make sense.
Mentioned in their bio. And I think where The Sims 4 went wrong is that he's not in the Landgrab family tree.
Yeah, that bothers me.
And I think that's why people get so upset and say that The Sims 4 doesn't have lore, because they really should have included him.
It's more that they just they tried to put lore in, but didn't actually incorporate it into the mechanics of the game.
Exactly.
You don't have to just say he is their son. You can actually have a family tree in which he's their son.
Yes.
Because that's part of the game. That should be part and parcel, in my opinion.
Yes.
But whatever.
Or even if they had, like, I don't know, somehow wiped him from their family tree because they disowned him or whatever, even just having some sort of a negative relationship with him, or I don't know, a relationship at all.
Yeah, apparently they don't know each other at all.
They don't even know each other, which seems really silly. But yeah, so he is their son. All right, so question number 2.
Okay.
And this one This one trips a lot of people up. And I don't know why, because I feel like it's pretty straightforward. But what is the timeline of all of the Sims games? Stunned silence from the audience.
No, because I know this. I'm pretty sure that people have decided that The Sims 4 is in an alternate timeline and therefore is irrelevant.
Yeah, The Sims 4, it's not irrelevant, but it is supposedly an alternate timeline.
Because it doesn't make sense. Is it like 2, 1, 3 or something?
No.
Oh.
No, you got that actually completely backwards. So
3, 1, 2.
Yes, 3, 1, 2. So the easiest way to remember is to look at the Goth family.
I'm thinking about Bella Goth.
So don't think about Bella. Think about Mortimer. Because Bella will trip you up in The Sims 2 because she's technically not in the game.
Yeah.
And even the Bella that's in Strangerville, that's not actually Bella. That's a different Bella. That's like
what?
Weird alternate timeline Bella. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So think about Mortimer. So Mortimer in The Sims 3 is a child.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't play enough of The Sims 3, clearly.
So Mortimer in The Sims 3 is a child. Bella's also a child. It's Bella Bachelor, because that's her maiden name, of course. Obviously.
Obviously, yeah. I knew that.
Sims 3 is first in the timeline, and a lot of people actually like kind of put years to the Sims games, and a lot of people assume that The Sims 3 takes place in the 1950s, which makes no sense to me because they have like TVs and cell phones and like things from the future and computers. But if people want to believe that it takes place in the 50s, listen, live your best life. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But so it's The Sims 3 first, and then it's The Sims. Then it's the original Sims, because then we have Mortimer and Bella. Bella's a young adult. I think Mortimer's an adult. I don't recall their exact ages, but they are not elders at that point.
Hang on, in which Sims game?
In the regular Sims, in the original Sims.
Well, you only had adult or
Oh, that's
kid.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they also had Cassandra in The Sims.
Yeah.
But they did not have Alexander.
No, they didn't.
No,
You're
Alexander
right.
did not exist.
He did not exist.
No.
The limit does not exist.
The limit does not exist. And then in The Sims 2, Bella's gone. Okay. Bella was last seen with Don Lothario. Now she's gone. And then Mortimer is an elder, and Cassandra is a young adult. And I think Alexander is like a teenager. I don't Listen, Sims 2 is a fever dream to me, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going back a long time, and I will not lie to you. I don't remember much about these people. The only thing that's bothered me is the insane whitewashing of the Sims from Sims 1 and Sims 4 until they started updating people.
My God.
When I'm like, feel really, why am I being stupid? What's the word? When you like feel a lot about something passionately.
Passionate? Yeah.
So when I get the things I feel kind of like passionately like annoyed about in The Sims are things like when Bonehilda in The Sims 4 comes out of the table. She's made of bones. That is annoying. Like, she's not a ghost. She can't come from a table. She's bone. So that's annoying. She should be in a cupboard that is a coffin, as she was in previous games. And for me, her coffin is the scummy old grey wood one from Sims 1. That elaborate red and gold thing from Sims 2 or 3 or whatever, that's just not for me. I'm like, nah. I like the original. And I'm sad that she didn't come in that.
Fair.
But that's the kind of thing that I actually like feel very strongly about, like what people look like and what objects look like, rather than who's related to who, because I have no fucking clue.
No, I mean, that makes sense too, because I mean, how does Bella go from what is clearly a ethnically ambiguous woman to a certain degree to like a white lady?
Yeah, I know.
Same thing with the Calientes.
I know, yeah, that's the other person I was
Dina and
thinking of.
Nina are not white.
No, not at all. And like, what is their fucking name? Like, have a think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're Hispanic. Are they not in? No, they're not in the first game. They're in the second game.
No, they're in the second game. But yeah, they're like the mid-range skin tone.
Yeah.
And then in The Sims 4, they are like as pale could possibly be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's tragic. Anyway.
Question 3?
Question 3.
Is it time?
All right. This one.
Okay.
I like this question. Whose wife went missing in The Sims 4 under mysterious circumstances?
Can I have any hints? Am I allowed to ask? Not at all. No, If I can't have any hints, I literally don't know.
I'll give you one hint. This takes place in Windenburg.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna just say a name.
Okay.
And it's probably not even somebody who lives in Windenburg.
Okay.
Is it Jacques Valerial?
It is. It is. Good job. I'm impressed.
I will tell you, the reason why I know that name so well is because I always steal his house because it's the big one.
It is, yeah, it is a very nice house.
It's where my 100 babies grew up.
Yeah.
Not in that house. I made a cult.
His bio, now I don't recall exactly what his bio says, but it is something about his wife going missing. I don't think that they specify that she's dead or anything like that. And it's not like there's a gravestone hidden on the lot that I've found.
Okay.
But there is like kind of a back and forth on like who done it.
Ooh.
As far as like why she's gone. So the three big theories that I have noticed have been, one, she left him.
Right.
She just left him high and dry because Jacques is a criminal. That's like his career path. That's why he has such a large house. Because he's like a mastermind criminal. So like,
oops.
There's a theory that like she, kind of got sick of like the criminal lifestyle and didn't want to be like basically a mob wife anymore and left him, which makes sense in my brain.
Sneaky.
The second theory is that he did something to her. He disappeared her.
Oh, dear.
Because they do live on that island.
Yeah. There's some craggy rocks on the edge.
There's quite a lot of craggy rocks.
A lot of craggy rocks you could push somebody off or onto.
Yeah. But then the third theory is my favorite.
Oh. Is it an owl?
No, it's not. No, it was not an owl, okay?
Do you know the reference?
I do. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, of course you do. Your brief history, Renee, of course you know.
Yeah. No, it was not an owl and it was not a cow plant, okay? So the third theory, they have a son, a young son. Off the top of my head, I can't be bothered to remember his name. But this young son, one of his traits is evil.
Oh.
So there is the theory that the young son did something to his mother and disappeared her.
Dear.
Yeah. And see, this is the type of Sims lore that I like because like in Sims 2, they would have like spelled it out for you in a confession note and been like, this is exactly what happened to the lady. No. In Sims 4, you get to speculate.
That's nice.
And then you can go in and play that family and like choose whatever you think makes the most sense to you.
Yeah.
And like play your game that way. So like maybe you're playing the game and you have like the teenage daughter find out that the younger brother did something to her mom. And like that's like your own lore, but still within the realm of like the Sims created this lore. You know what I mean?
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
So that's one of my favorite little moments in The Sims 4 is that his wife is mysteriously vanished. I think it's more mysterious than Bella in Strangerville. Because again, that was like just thrown at you.
Isn't it Strange Town in that
Strange Town, yeah. Sorry.
Yes. It's all right.
Why would you name
You're
them
forgiven.
something so similar? Why would you do that?
I know.
Like you couldn't have gone with like Weirdville or something?
Why didn't they just call it Strange Town?
They could have just called it Strange Town. They could have done that.
Well, I guess the whole, no spoilers, but the thing that happens in Strangerville probably needs to be in a new place so that it could be a new place.
Yeah, I guess
Strangerville is amazing, by the way. Everybody needs to play that pack.
Strangerville is one of the best packs.
Fight us if you don't like it.
I will literally meet you outside.
I will die for that pack.
Catch me outside.
Catch
How
me
about that?
outside, bish. How about that?
Okay. All right. We got question number 4. So far, you got 2 right and 1 wrong.
2 out of 3. I've got a little piece of paper I'm keeping a little tally on because I'm very sad.
You're doing pretty good. I'm not disappointed in you yet.
Thank you.
So question number 4 is why does Agnes Crumplebottom dislike Sims who are experiencing romance interactions?
I don't know like the nitty gritty, but it's something to do with her losing her love. I think like he died or something when they were going to get married or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And now she hates people who are in love.
Yeah. And the fun thing about Agnes is actually in her backstory, she has 2 dead ex-husbands.
Oh.
Not just 1, 2. So first one, and I could be totally getting this timeline wrong. I'm actually going to open up her Wikipedia because I don't want people to crucify me if I get the exact timeline of her husband's wrong.
And I tell you what, I had a feeling you were going to ask me about this. And because you've been doing more videos about like backstories to Sims and stuff. And every time the ones about like Agnes come up, I skip them.
Oh, good.
Because I was like, I don't want to just watch your video and then think she's probably going to ask me a question about Agnes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that would be cheaty.
So in The Sims 3, so I'm just going off of the Wikipedia and like the order that this Wikipedia is in. So in The Sims 3, this is Eric Darling, which if you've been watching my TikToks, I aged Agnes down. I remade Eric Darling. I'm going to be doing a Let's Play with them. It's going to be very cute.
That sounds adorable.
Yeah. So
I've seen like little snippets, but then skipped. So I was like,
it's going to be really cute. It's going to be really precious. So Agnes was married to Eric Darling, who is just such a precious little baby angel. But they went on their honeymoon and he drowned while on their honeymoon.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Like, could you imagine how traumatic would that be?
Oh.
So then on top of him dying tragically on their honeymoon, they have a partially finished nursery in the house that Agnes lives in.
No.
Yeah. So my theory is that they were going to start trying to have a baby when they got back from the honeymoon. But a lot of people say that she was already pregnant and lost the baby because of the trauma of her husband's death. But I don't like the idea of miscarriages being in The Sims at all. So I don't like that theory and I don't want to hear about it.
Well, also, I prefer it the other way.
Yeah.
Because these are older people, traditional values. I doubt they were trying, like, publicly, you know,
I mean,
beforehand.
You know the saying that the first baby always comes early? And then every other baby takes 9 months?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they might have been, but I don't know. I don't like the idea of her losing a baby. That just makes me really sad. I like to think that they got off the plane, immediately went swimming, and he drowned like the first 15 minutes they were there.
Why?
Because then there's no way that she was already pregnant.
Only if...
Unless they joined the Mile High Club on the way to their honeymoon.
Or they shagged beforehand.
Listen, stop.
No, I agree with you, though. I don't like that. And, I mean, this is one of the reasons why there's, like, a couple of mods, like Life Tragedies mod. There's no way I'm ever putting that in my game. No. That's just so depressing. I don't want... Oh, no. No.
No, I don't want
need that.
I don't want that.
That's sad. If you want to put that in your game, like that's to, you know, people out there, not you. I know you wouldn't. That's not your bag at all. I don't judge people for the weird shit they do.
No,
you do you, boo.
Live your best life.
Definitely not for me. Yeah.
But in addition to that partially finished nursery, Eric's ghost also haunts the house.
Oh.
So
Eric Darling, that's his name.
Yes, Eric Darling. Eric with a K.
Oh.
Eric with a K. Yep.
Unexpected.
Yeah. So then Agnes apparently has another dead husband.
Oh.
Another one. I am not entirely sure if Eric existed. I don't understand if it's like an alternate timeline or like what is going on. Because it says that Agnes, her next husband, was Robert Crumplebottom.
Okay.
Which doesn't make sense to me. So this is where it kind of like gets confusing for me because...
What's her maiden name?
Agnes is a Crumplebottom. Like her parents are Simon Crumplebottom and Prudence Crumplebottom.
Oh.
So she is a Crumplebottom. But this Robert Crumplebottom thing says that he is Robert Crumplebottom and she took his last name. I think that they kind of like messed up on the lore here a little bit.
Did they retcon and fucked up?
They might have retconned it. They might have done that. So Robert was Agnes's next husband. And just after they had gotten married, a chandelier fell on his head and killed him.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'll do that to you, I reckon.
Yeah. So some people say that Robert was a Crumplebottom. Some people say that Robert took Agnes's last name, and I think that's just because they kind of retconned it and they were like, it doesn't really make sense that Agnes, which I don't understand why they can't both have the last name Crumplebottom.
I think that makes most sense. I think that they are a very upper class English family and it's like a third cousin.
I mean, it doesn't even need to be like that because one of my friends, Cindy, her last name before she got married is Roberts, and her husband's last name that she married is Roberts. It's just a common last name. They're not related.
Yeah, but how common is Crumplebottom?
I mean, yeah, but this is The Sims. Maybe Crumplebottom is like Roberts in The Sims. Maybe it's a really common last name that everyone...
Maybe it is, yeah.
Everyone has the last name Crumplebottom.
I knew two guys who both had the same full name. I can't remember what their surname was, but it was Aaron something, and they were a couple.
That's precious.
I couldn't do that.
No.
If that was me, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I kind of fancy you, but I can't go out with you. But they were like fully like, I think they got married.
I dated a guy with the last name Renee one time.
No.
Yeah.
You can't be Renee. That's insane.
I know. It was spelled Rene, but it was still Renee.
You would have been Renee.
I could have been Renee. And at that point, if like we had gotten married, which that would have never happened because he was a crazy person, I would have just changed my middle name to Renee too. So I could be Renee.
You're a weird person.
like go big or go home, right?
Brilliant.
Yep. All right, question 5. Ooh, I think I already said this while we were talking about other things, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Uh-oh.
Who was Bella Goth last seen with before her famous disappearance?
Don Lothario.
Don Lothario.
But I'm not going to take that point because I
Okay.
did not know that. Because I would have had no fucking clue.
I'm going to move a question because I feel like this question is related. I should have ordered these questions a little bit better, but I didn't. So
That's
it's
okay.
fine. So we're gonna add on this next question to this question. So who is Bella Goth last seen with before her famous disappearance? And I'm gonna ask this in a different way than I've written it. Why is it concerning? Why is that weird specifically in The Sims 2 that she was last seen with Don Lothario?
Is it because, right, this might be completely wrong, but something unlocking in my brain. Is it because Don Lothario was Cassandra's boyfriend?
Yes, he was engaged to her. How weird is that?
And so the implication is possibly she was having an affair with her daughter's fiance.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Exactly.
I'm really impressed that I knew that.
But like Don Lothario was he not also having an affair with like
Everyone?
Nina and Dina and like everyone else in The Sims 2? And like, why would Bella cheat on Mortimer? Like, do they not have a good relationship? Because everyone seems to think that Mortimer and Bella are like relationship goals. I think, and this is my thought, I think that Bella is a gold digger.
Oh.
And I've always thought that about Bella.
I have little opinion of Bella Goth, really.
She's not my favorite Sim. I'll admit that. But I do think she's a gold digger. All right, question number, what are we on? We'll call that last 2. We'll call those like one question together. We'll call that question 5. So we're on question number 6.
6.
What is the name of the sea monster that lives in the lake in Windenburg? Did you know that there's a sea monster that lives in the lake in Windenburg?
I did. It's like a Loch Ness type vibe, Nessie thing. But it's called not that.
Yeah, his name is not Nessie.
It would just be a stab in the dark, to be honest, if I was going to say anything.
Pick a name.
I feel like it's a girl's name, like
It is a girl's name.
Lucy or something.
It's not Lucy.
Daisy.
No, it's Emily.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get that.
Yeah, her name's Emily.
Millennial girl's name, though. I was close with Lucy, I feel.
Is Emily a millennial? No.
Yeah.
No.
There were thousands of Emilys when I was growing up.
Emily's been in like the top 100 for like literally forever. So yeah, her name is Emily. You can't do anything with her. You can just look at her from afar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. I think it's just like a nice little...
I don't think I've ever seen her.
I did a TikTok on it like a little while ago, and it took forever for her to show up.
I think I saw your TikTok, but I've never seen her in my game because I can't be bothered.
Yeah. You have to kind of like sit there. And then like, even if you have like a sim sitting there, it's not like they don't get like a moodlet from seeing her. It's just, she just kind of pops up in the background and she goes back under the water. And it's like every 2 sim hours, she like pops up and then goes away.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
Huh.
Not that I've been able to see. So I don't know if maybe there's like some sort of an item or something that has a reference towards Emily, but
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. If anyone knows,
let us know.
call our toll-free number, 1-800
Sims.
Katie, Renee, Sims.
1-800-SIMS.
Yeah, 1-800-SIMS. That's not enough numbers for a phone number. That's fine.
I don't know. I don't understand how on American things they're always using letters as a phone number, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Did you not have T9 texting?
What, like you go 111?
Yeah.
33? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah, but why? That's so weird.
Well, because it's easier to remember.
But how do they make it line up? Do they choose what their number's going to be based on where the letter?
Yeah. It's not like 1877 cash now, like just happen to get the perfect combination of numbers to get the number 1877 cash now. But you're never going to forget 1877 cash now.
Children will never understand how difficult texting was. And the fact that you had to pay fucking 10p for every single text you sent.
Whether it was outgoing or incoming. So, like, you'd get so mad at someone if they texted you and you were out of free texts because you got, like, 10 a month.
I didn't have any free texts to start with. Like, that wasn't a thing when I first got my first mobile.
I didn't get my first cell phone until I was, like, 18. So that was, like, 2005.
I got given my mum's old phone when I started secondary school. So that was when I was 11. In 2002. I had to really think about that.
I didn't have a cell phone all through high school. We used payphones.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I've always thought this though, like when I used to watch American TV shows and stuff on like Disney Channel, nobody had phones, but me and all my friends had phones. I feel like we had phones before you guys did, and I don't know why that is. Everybody was paging each other.
Oh, I wanted a pager so bad. Oh, I wanted a pager so bad.
We did not do the pager thing. We went straight to mobiles because pagers are insane.
Yeah, no, I wanted a pager so bad. My parents would not get me a pager.
What's the fucking point?
It looks cool and then you feel like a doctor. They had those like cool like see-through ones that looked like Game Boys. You know what I'm talking about? Right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I wanted one of those so bad.
Because we've already had the conversation about how we both had the see-through Game Boy Color.
Yes.
And I had the purple one, and you had like teal one, which is like our opposite, like favorite colors.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going very off topic.
Okay. All right. Let's bring it back in. Bring it back in. Question number 7 is, what world is Magnolia Promenade meant to be an extension of?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because it's not its own world, bitch. Okay? It's not. It's a district. It's a district within another world.
Well,
technically.
I mean, why the fuck is it on a different page then?
Don't ask questions.
Okay.
I don't work for The Sims. I don't know. I don't know why they do the things that they do, but it's what they did. Okay?
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say Willow Creek.
Yeah, it is Willow Creek.
It makes the most sense. They look the same.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, so it still has kind of that the New Orleans vibe going on, if you will, because that's what Willow Creek is based on, is New Orleans.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the like cultural references to America. It's just very much like that one's like America, and that one's like America, and that one's like a slightly different America.
That should have been one of my questions. I didn't even think it. Maybe we could talk about that at the end, what all the worlds are based on, because I think that's like a really interesting thing too.
It's a very fun thing to debate some of them as well that people are convinced are like English, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's quite fun.
I feel like they're all like pretty well laid out and like very thrown in your face as to what it is based on. Like, there's really no questioning what a lot of these worlds are based on.
Okay. We should come, right, we should get through these questions.
We're going to swing back around to that one. We're going to swing back around to that.
I want to discuss this because I have some feelings and some thoughts.
Yeah.
And some opinions.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. We're going to talk a little bit about the Goths.
Okay.
What are Mortimer's parents' names?
Shit. I knew this. Gunther?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's not Cordelia, but it's something like that. No. Bugger. What? Oh, this is so
You're like
annoying.
right there. You're right there.
Cornetto. What the fuck is her name? Is it Core something?
Yes.
I can look this up because I know it's on my phone because I've done this research for... Oh, can I give a shout out to not really a sponsor of our podcast?
Yeah.
So this podcast is not really sponsored by, but I guess it's not sponsored by, my Sims-based craft store, Peafrog's Craft Pad. And I am planning to make a goth-themed line of jewellery. And at one point I was going to include Gunther and... Corn.
Yeah,
Corn.
keep going.
Corn.
Keep going.
I can't think. Does it start with CORN? Because I feel like there's no names.
Yes. Yeah.
Corn. What names start with corn? Is it Cornelia? Is that a name?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's not Cordelia. Cordelia Goth is a totally different person. Cornelia Goth is Mortimer's mother.
Oh, I can't believe that took me so long to put together. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to be making some goth theme, like the Goth family inspired jewelry, and I've already made some weird shit. So like, check it out.
That's exciting.
I might send you them. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Renee's got a PO box.
I do.
You can send her weird shit.
I do have a P.O. box. You can send me all sorts of stuff to my P.O. box.
I don't have one. You can't send me weird shit.
Someone wanted to send me things, and I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about getting one, so I'll get one.
Right, sorry about that little bit of self-promotion plug in there.
Oh my God, shame.
I know, but I'm editing it, so if I think it's really cringe, I'll take it out.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, Gunther and Cornelia are...
Yay!
Good job. Question 9 kind of goes along with that.
All right.
So now that we've established that Cornelia Goth is Mortimer's mother, what is Cornelia's maiden name?
Don't know. No.
Cornelia's maiden name is Crumplebottom. And that makes her Agnes's sister.
Oh, damn, I did not know that.
So Mortimer is Agnes's nephew, which is another missed opportunity in The Sims 4.
Yes, that really, really is.
And I maybe I understand this one because they didn't come out, like the land grabs, we had Nancy and Joffrey and Malcolm and Johnny Zest. They came out like all at the same time.
Yeah, in the base game.
We didn't get Agnes until Cottage Living. And there's not a lot of like cross-pack kind of stuff going on in The Sims 4. So maybe I understand why they didn't.
I don't know. But it's like base game and then an expansion.
Yes.
I also don't understand why they didn't patch in the toddler of the pancakes.
Yeah, I don't.
If they can change the Goth family for everybody's games, why can't they make sure that the pancakes have their child?
Yeah, that is weird. No, I don't like that. Now that I'm thinking about that, I don't enjoy that at all.
Yeah, because I was thinking for ages like, oh, it must be like, you can't change the game now. Oh, no, apparently you can. You can just completely redesign the Goth family and then nobody else and then just forget that you did that.
I don't like the new Goth family.
I don't. I like the old ones.
I wish that they had just fixed up Bella's skin tone and then called it a day.
I hate the fact that they changed their faces. It really, really bothers me. Because they're just different people now. And I'm like, no.
That's not Bella.
No.
No. Okay. So then we have question 10.
Oh.
Which Sim took their wife's last name?
Jeffrey Landgrab.
Yes.
I know this.
And what was his last name prior to marriage? His maiden name, if you will.
Mandan name. I don't know what the name of that would be.
So Joffrey did take Nancy's last name. This is correct. And we learned his last name through a promotion for the Sims 4 high school years.
Oh, fuck.
It's not even in the game.
No, I remember it was on like the tweets where they did the
the little yearbook photos.
The yearbook photos, which I loved. Oh, shit. I remember that coming out, but I don't remember what the name was.
His last name is or his maiden name. I don't know what it would be called.
Maiden name.
His name before was Austere.
Oh.
Austere.
Okay.
Joffrey Austere. Yep. So that's your little fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day?
Yep.
Well, by my reckoning, out of 10 questions, I've had, 6 right?
Yeah, you've been doing pretty good.
I think I'm quite impressed.
I'm also impressed with you. To be fair, I didn't delve too deep, but that's okay. This last one, however, this is the last question. Then we're gonna circle back to the world.
Okay.
Who is thought to be the father of Nervous Subject? Nervous Subject is a sim that appears in Sims 2 and Sims 3. Who's his dad? Or who is speculated to be his father?
Is he an alien?
Nervous Subject?
Yeah.
I don't think he's an alien.
Oh. So I was wondering whether or not it was one of the pollination technicians would have been his dad.
No. His mom is Olive Spectre. But who's his dad?
Oh, shit. Oh, there's so much lore about the Spectres. And, I've watched Plumbella videos about this, just being like, "Ugh, mind blown. I have no idea what's going on." Oh, bugger. No, I don't know.
His dad is supposed to be the Grim Reaper. Oh, and this is just an extra fun fact that I really enjoy. The Grim Reaper in The Sims 3. Do you know who does his voice acting?
No.
Have you ever watched The Walking Dead?
No.
Oh.
I know who some actors are, though.
King Ezekiel from Walking Dead is the Grim Reaper in Sims 3.
I'm going to have to look this up.
Yeah, look him up. He's the guy with the tiger.
What?
Because that's a normal thing to have in a zombie apocalypse, is just like a pet tiger.
Yeah.
We don't question it. But yeah, he does the voice for the Grim Reaper.
Carrie Payton. Carrie?
His name's Harry? Really?
No, Carrie. Like, it's
okay.
Khary, which is not a name I've ever seen in my life. There's some crazy voice actors that have ended up on Sims things.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
He's also, this is probably a better reference for you. He's Cyborg's voice in Teen Titans Go.
That does not help me.
Or in
any way.
any of the Teen Titans, because they got all the original.
I don't know
voices
what
back.
that is.
No? Okay, well, I tried really hard.
Is it anime?
No.
Oh.
No. So those were my questions. You did pretty good.
I think I did quite well, actually.
I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Let's discuss these Sims 4 worlds.
Okay, yeah. Well, I have some thoughts, as I said.
Yeah. So starting off, we had Willow Creek.
Yes. Which you said was based on New Orleans.
Yes.
I did not know. Makes sense now with the boat.
Yeah, it has like the boats. It has a lot of New Orleans style like architecture, like the shotgun style houses. That's a very New Orleans thing to have.
This is the thing. Things like shotgun houses is only something I have ever heard come out of your mouth or other people making Sims houses. Like Americans making houses in The Sims. And I'm like, yeah.
That's what it's called. It's called a shotgun style house.
Is that the one where it goes all the way through from one end to the other?
Yes.
For some reason, I know this.
Yeah. And actually, a lot of the times when you have those houses, it's literally like room by room. So like sometimes you have to go through someone else's bedroom to get to the bathroom.
That sounds bad.
Yeah.
Sounds like a stupid idea.
I don't want to live in one. So there's that. But yeah, it is meant to be based on New Orleans.
And do you think that is accurate as a person who lives in America? Not that you necessarily know
I'm nowhere near New
well.
Orleans. I'm in New Hampshire.
You've been there?
I've never been to New Orleans. But from what I've seen, I mean, it seems fairly accurate.
It feels like the vibe to me.
Yeah.
As someone who's also never been there.
And I think that's really more what it's supposed to be. I think it's more supposed to be a vibe rather than like, this is New Orleans because...
Yeah. Fictional.
Yeah.
Because fictional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we have Oasis Springs, which is meant to be southwestern United States. So like Arizona.
Oh.
Which again, I've never been to Arizona, but I feel like that's pretty consistent. It's pretty deserty over there.
Because I kind of thought because there's Strangerville and Oasis Springs are like the two deserty ones.
I feel like they're pretty close. They're pretty similar.
But I feel like one is supposed to be more kind of New Mexico, Albuquerque vibes.
Probably.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Strangerville. And then the other one is like Texas. I don't know. Something like that.
So... in the Sims wiki, it says that Oasis Springs is southwestern United States, specifically Arizona. And then Strangerville, that's Oasis Springs. Strangerville, I would assume, would be like Area 51.
Where is that, though? I don't know.
In Nevada, which is very close to Arizona.
Oh.
Because Strangerville, like, think about it. It's like the secret lab and like all that stuff. So like
that makes
Area 51.
Perfect sense.
So they are both southwestern United States.
They just look so different to me, though.
They do, but they don't, you know? Like they have the same kind of vibes. It's just Strangerville has like that nice grassy area.
But like one is like kind of yellowy and one is kind of more reddy. You know, the sand.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that might also have to do with the fact that they were released so far apart from each other.
Maybe.
They're supposed to be like similar general vicinities of the United States.
It baffles me how many different like
biomes, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah. Biomes of America just blows my fucking mind.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I can't get my head around it, really.
It's huge.
I know.
So then we have Newcrest.
I mean, it's empty.
Which Newcrest is empty, and I don't think it's like based on anywhere specific, but a lot of people seem to believe that it's like near Willow Creek.
American Ish.
In my brain, if like all of these Sims worlds were like combined and like together, it would be like Willow Creek and then like San Myshuno and then Newcrest. So like those two would be like the suburbs of San Myshuno. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I see that. Yeah, one's kind of the fancy side and one's the kind of the new build kind of side. I like that.
Yeah. Well, then we had Magnolia Promenade.
Which we've already said is an extension of Willow Creek, which I did not know.
Exactly. Yeah.
I did not fucking know that. I feel like they could have made that more clear.
I think it's in the bio.
Oh, no one reads that. Okay, I don't read that, which is why I don't know any of the lore.
Maybe it's not.
How did you know?
How did I know?
Yeah, how did you come across this information? I don't know.
I looked it up.
What's the source?
The Sims fandom wiki says, this is about Magnolia Promenade, says the neighborhood seems to be set in or near downtown Willow Creek, considering that both have the same architectural style, and Magnolia Promenade shares its name with the park in Willow Creek, Magnolia Blossom.
Oh, yeah.
So that does make sense.
Yeah.
And if you have Sims 4 Seasons installed, then Magnolia Promenade has the same climate as Willow Creek.
Ah.
So there's also that.
I see. What's next?
What came out next? Windenburg?
Outdoor Retreat, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, Granite Falls.
Does that count?
I guess Granite Falls would count.
I don't know why I know the order of any of these coming out because I didn't buy The Sims 4 until 2019.
I don't know. Granite Falls is supposed to be the Pacific Northwest of the United States, so specifically like Washington State.
I kind of get Canada vibes as well.
Yeah, I mean, Washington State's like right on the Canada border, so that does check out. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Camping and a lot of trees and nice
trees,
like the waterfall and the ponds and the lake, and it just all kind of checks out.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever been to Washington State, but I have a general understanding of what it looks like in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And I feel like camping just like totally checks out for that part of the country.
Yeah. Where's like Yellowstone and that shit?
Yellowstone's like kind of up there. I feel like you need a map.
I had a map of the US. We were talking about, by the way, if you are a 28 to 34-year-old female in Ohio, hello, because you are the most likely person to be listening to this, because that's the highest demographic that we have.
So Yellowstone's in like Wyoming, which is...
Oh, there it is.
I mean,
that's miles away.
Yeah, but that's still kind of like the Northwest. I don't know if I would consider that the Pacific Northwest, because it's like 3 states in from the Pacific, but it's like in the general area.
Oh, I see Washington. I was looking at the wrong Washington.
Oh, yeah. There's Washington, D.C., and then there's Washington State. They are very different things.
Well, it doesn't say on this map. They just both called Washington, and one of them is in capitals, and the other one is not. So it's very confusing for someone who has no fucking clue.
Yeah. I feel like Granite Falls makes sense for Washington State.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is very close to Canada.
So then after that was Windenburg, right?
I'm of the opinion that is Germany.
It is meant to be, yeah.
That area of Europe.
Wikipedia says, many Simmers consider the world to be inspired by Bavaria, Germany, as well as a bit of Scandinavia and the United Kingdom. I see Germany.
I don't see Scandinavia. I see more, like, if you're looking at a map of Europe now, the kind of Germany-France border with, like, Switzerland, Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands, like, all of those ones. That's kind of partly because I went on a school trip to Strasbourg, which is on the border of France and Germany when I was a kid, because we were learning French and German at the time, which, was why I don't know either.
Yeah.
And we like, kind of went over the border from France to Germany, and they looked, pretty much like Windenburg, both of them. But the fact that his, like, Berg is like Hamburg, but then Luxembourg, although it's spelled differently, and Strasbourg. Yeah. They've all got a Berg-esque vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the name totally checks out. And then there's, like, the castle ruins, which is a very European thing, because obviously we don't have castles over here.
Yeah, that's weird to me that you just don't.
Yeah.
Like, we just do. Like, they're just everywhere.
Yeah, you just have fucking castles everywhere. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I just don't find it weird. It'd be like, oh yeah, there's a Roman settlement around the corner, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no. But then you have like the Gothic buildings and like the Tudor style buildings, and that's all very European as well.
I mean, yeah, we have a lot of that sort of thing. There's loads of Tudor buildings in my town where I live. So I was really excited to get get together because of the world, because it felt the most close to the UK at the time.
Yeah.
Even though it did kind of, it felt European enough and like it could be. There's like church bells and shit in it.
Yeah.
And that's like from where I live now and from where I lived with my parents like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You can hear church bells from both houses. And that's just a thing, just some huge old church.
Yeah, my old apartment, we were close to a big old church and we would hear the church bells as well.
But these are like things that were built in like the 13th, 14th century.
Yeah.
And they're just chilling. They're just there still.
Just hanging out.
I know, it's crazy though.
Yeah.
What's next?
So then we got San Myshuno, right?
Which city?
Yes, San Myshuno is city living.
I don't really understand.
And it's like a combination of like a bunch of big cities.
It's got kind of Tokyo vibes, but also like parts of America that I probably don't know.
So the wiki says this world is based on a variety of modern cities, including Shanghai, Tokyo, Vancouver, San Francisco, Hong Kong, New York, Sydney.
I can see that.
Most simmers tend to believe it's a specific mix between New York, San Francisco, and Tokyo. I've never been to San Francisco.
Yeah.
But I don't really get a San Francisco vibe from San Myshuno. I definitely see the New York, though.
Yeah, I've never been to either.
I've been to New York many times.
Yeah, you have.
I love New York.
And Tony's already been. So there's no incentive for us to like have a holiday there because I've never been there. Like, it's a fucking expensive place and really far away. And he's already been
very
there.
Expensive. Come to Boston instead and we'll take a day trip to New York.
Boston, Massachusetts, we will go.
I can dump some tea in the harbor in front of you.
As long as it's not my tea. We don't like go and get a cup of tea and you're like, and then you throw it. I'm like, fuck you.
I mean, I might. I don't know.
Back.
Depends on my mood that day.
You'll have to buy me a hot chocolate to make up for it.
Okay, I can do that.
I should come to Boston. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be a good time.
Don't have any money, so probably not.
Literal same. I get that.
Also, I don't have a passport at the moment. I feel like an American. Mine expired, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I don't have one either, but I have no reason to have one. So
I need to get mine renewed because I want to be able to leave this small island.
Oh yeah, you guys had that whole Brexit thing, didn't you?
Well, even so, we can't go to Europe without a passport, even when we were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't go anywhere. You can't leave a country without a passport.
I mean, I don't know. I thought you guys were like a European Union of some kind.
Yeah, but like you still need a passport.
Oh, well. So
anyway,
what came after San Myshuno? Was it Brindleton Bay? Was it Forgotten Hollow?
I don't know.
Let's go Forgotten Hollow first. Forgotten Hollow is obviously Transylvanian.
Oh.
It's vampires. So.
Well, yeah, but it's so Victorian.
Yes.
But the world does not look like England.
No.
But I don't feel like it probably looks like anywhere because it's like basically always dark there.
I think it's just supposed to be like vampires live here.
It's so fantasy that, but I love the fact that came with Victorian stuff because it came with things like radiators.
Yes. Oh my God. Give me more radiators, please.
We want some modern radiators.
I would love a radiator or 7.
Longer ones as well. I'm fed up of squishing them together to make it look like a long radiator underneath a window.
So yeah, fantasy.
But Transylvania, I see that.
Victorian, Transylvania, that kind of.
But it's very much more the architecture rather than the world that feels like Victorian.
So then we had Brindleton Bay, which is...
So that's New England.
That is New England. That is supposed to be New England coastal / fishing towns. It's kind of like a Cape Cod.
Martha's Vineyard vibes, that kind of thing?
I wouldn't say Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard is very expensive.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
It would need to... I feel like it would need to be way more bougie if it was going to be Martha's Vineyard.
Bougie.
But, I mean, I guess...
That area of the world, anyway.
I say this as someone from New England. I didn't really go to Cape Cod as a child. That was like not a vacation that we took, despite us only being like a couple hours from there. But I mean, like they got all like the basic features and like I've definitely seen houses like this on the coast and things like that. But I don't know. It just feels so dreary. Whereas like you go to Cape, like even think about the movie Jaws. Right?
Yes.
Because Jaws is supposed to be like a New England coastal type of town. And it's like so vibrant.
Do you know why I said Martha's Vineyard?
Yeah.
Literally because that's where Jaws was filmed.
Yeah.
And this is my only context.
But like, think of how like it just felt alive. You know what I mean?
Do you not like Brindleton Bay?
And then like I go to Brindleton Bay and it feels like it's just raining and foggy and gross all the time. And like there's never any sun and it's really dark. And that's just like not the vibe that I get when I'm on Cape Cod.
It's so funny to me, though, because it was my favorite world for the longest time because it reminded me so much of where I grew up, which is not New England. It's old England. But I grew up in a seaside town and there were kind of similarities a bit. It was coastal.
Okay.
The sea was there.
Yeah.
And that was very familiar to me. I don't like being too far away from the sea. It makes me feel very strange. That's coming from a country where you can't be more than like 3 hours away from the sea.
Yeah.
I don't like being more than about half an hour away from the sea. I feel really odd.
You know what Brindleton Bay does remind me of? And it's not Cape Cod.
Go on.
Have you seen the original Pete's Dragon?
I assume that the one I've seen is the original. The old one.
The one with the singing, right?
Is there another one?
Yeah, it's a new one. It's bad. We don't talk about it.
Oh, it doesn't have songs in it.
No. No, and the dragon is like huge and also CGI and it's bad and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But that's what Brindleton Bay reminds me of is like the town is Passamaquoddy.
That's a weird name.
It's Passamaquoddy. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. So
I know it is. I've seen it when I was a child and I know the song quite well.
I watch it frequently. I listen to the soundtrack in my car at least one time a week. I mean, Passamaquoddy, it's supposed to be like the same kind of, it's also supposed to be a small New England town, but I think Passamaquoddy is supposed to be in Maine.
Okay.
So.
Looking at the map again, where is Maine? Maine. Nope, can't find it.
It's up at the top right-hand corner.
There's a place called Bangor.
Yeah.
That's Welsh.
I mean, it's New England, so we just took all your names and...
That's Wales, though. Well, they weren't like that.
Don't tell Wales. So yeah, next up was Selva Dorada, because Jungle Adventures came out after that.
So, South America.
Yeah, Latin America.
Central America?
Latin America, Central America. It's supposed to be like the Amazon. And like the Mayan temples in Mexico. And
I see. I get very muddled up with the Americas.
Selva Dorada, and I guess the name would kind of be related to El Salvador.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Which I'm not sure where that is either.
It's very like Mayan, Aztec.
Yeah. That
kind of stuff. I mean, again, and I've never been there, but I feel like they did a pretty good job with it. It looks very nice.
By Honduras, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That's Central American, isn't it? Or is that Latin America?
I mean, yes.
I don't know what the difference is and where they are. I'm sorry. Everybody from that part of the world.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
Really bad at geography, apparently.
Yeah, geography was never my strong suit.
No.
So then, after that, we got Del Sol Valley, which is meant to be LA.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Which I definitely see. I feel like, and again, I've never been to LA, but I definitely see like a Hollywood Hills type of situation there, rather than like a downtown LA. It's not like it's like another San Myshuno or something.
A lot of American ones.
Yes.
You would have
noticed. I guess it makes sense because EA is an American company.
It does.
You know, so they're kind of working with what they know a little bit better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, let's maybe branch out a little bit.
I have some problems with one pack in particular that I adore, but they needed to do some more research.
Yeah.
About one thing. No, two things. But yeah, no, carry on. We'll get to it.
After Del Sol Valley, we had Strangerville, which we already kind of talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
Area 51. It's Nevada. It's, like Reno, that kind of area.
Yeah. I guess.
You totally know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know I've heard of Area 51.
Yeah, that's where the aliens were.
Yeah.
So then we had Sulani. Pacific
Island.
Yeah, Polynesian. It's been more specifically Hawaii, I think.
Which I guess is still technically America, but kind of.
We basically... We stole them.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the horrible things that the United States did to the Hawaiian Islands.
Equally,
pretty awful.
We don't need to talk about what England has done around the world to colonies.
I will say,
sorry on behalf
that
of
something that I really enjoy about Sulani is a lot of people, when that pack first came out, were really mad that we didn't get hotels. And I love that we didn't get hotels with that, because Hawaii right now is like, don't fucking visit us.
Yeah.
Like, don't come here.
This is why TikTok is an education, because I wouldn't have known any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Tourism is destroying the fucking... Yeah.
So, like, why would we want to perpetuate the idea of, like, visiting Hawaii by putting hotels in this pack? Like, no, thank you. No. So I'm very glad that we did not get hotels. It does still feel like a very touristy town in some ways, but it also feels like there's a big sense of community.
Yeah.
They have festivals like every single day in Sulani.
Which are not in the frickin' calendar, and that really pisses me off. Can they fix that shit?
No, they're not, and it's very frustrating.
Honestly, I think I've had families live in Sulani more than any other world.
It's a gorgeous world.
It's one of my defaults. I love it.
Island living is one of my least favorite packs, but Sulani is a beautiful world. It's very well done, I think.
One thing I find quite interesting as well is like some packs where like get together. I have no interest in the majority of the things from that pack, but I love the world and I love the build buy.
Yes.
Particularly the build.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tasty.
So then after Sulani, we got Glimmerbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Which the wiki is telling me that it's also inspired by the Pacific Northwest of the United States.
Yeah.
With the waterfalls in the forests.
But magic.
I mean, I get it.
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like Glimmerbrook.
I don't mind it.
It's not my favorite.
My fairy tale too many toddlers and now tykes are living there.
I feel like the lighting in Glimmerbrook is really weird.
I think it is quite weird, but I don't know. That's the kind of thing I don't think about. Apart from building in fucking Forgotten Hollow.
Ugh, yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's frustrating building there.
If you know, you know.
So then we had Discover University. So we had Brightchester.
Oh, yes. Which apparently supposed to be the UK.
Yes. So hold on, though, because it's not just supposed to be the UK.
Okay.
Reading the wiki, obviously there are the two different university campuses. Mm-hmm. So Foxbury Institute is supposed to be a combination of Stanford University in California and MIT in Massachusetts. Okay. Which I totally see it. 100%.
I have very little context of what they look like, but cool. I know what they are.
Never been to Stanford, but I've seen MIT, and it feels appropriate.
Which one is Foxbury? Is it the fancy pants one or the modern one?
No, not the fancy pants. It's the modern one.
Okay. That makes sense. Technology, MIT.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Because University of Brightchester is supposed to be Oxford. Because it's like all that like very old style architecture and like the really old grand buildings. And
could it not equally be Harvard though? or indeed Yale?
No, I don't think so.
It's just not fucking old enough to be. Oxford is so old.
Yeah.
Really old.
Yeah, and I get that, but Harvard does not. I mean, if it was going to be Harvard, it would be more brick buildings. And like more like colonial looking style, if that makes sense. It doesn't have the same vibe as Brightchester does.
The other thing that annoys me about Brightchester is it feels like it's supposed to be a cross between Brighton and Manchester, but it's the bright part would be spelt wrong if that's what it was supposed to be implying, so it's confusing to me. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture of it now and I can see it's. I don't know. It's just, yeah, okay.
I mean,
I don't think that I've ever had a sim go to the University of Brightchester.
Think about it more as inspired by.
Yeah.
You know?
But they also play football as well, like soccer, which is a bit random to me because, I don't know, it seems like, okay, they were creating their own thing and they were kind of doing a mishmash of things and that makes sense. But also what they kind of did was go, hey, let's make something that looks like an English university that's really fancy. And what do English people like? Football. All right, well, their college sport is football. And it's like, I don't think you know what happened to Oxford. There's no cheerleaders and fucking football teams.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We don't have college sports.
Yeah, that's a very American thing, isn't it? College sports.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like the dorm situation and like sharing the rooms and stuff. It's so weird. I don't mind university as a pack. Also, I will tell you this, that the thing that annoys me mainly about the world of Brightchester is how far apart everything is.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like that was really maybe one of the first worlds that we got that felt like there was just a lot of empty space that didn't make sense. You know, because like Glimmerbrook came with a lot of empty space, but it felt appropriate that everything was kind of spaced out. You know what I mean?
And it's little because it's from a GP as well. So
yeah. I feel like Brightchester really should have had a significantly larger amount of lots.
It only has like 3, doesn't it, that you can actually live on?
Yeah, like 3 or 4, I think. Yeah. One of them's the bar, so.
Oh. One of them's in the middle of a roundabout, isn't it?
I think so.
Maybe that's why it's supposed to be English.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's very strange. Very strange.
Yeah, I find Brightchester messes with my head quite a lot because it feels like somebody decided to write like a Netflix original Christmas film. Mm-hmm. And they went, I'm going to set it in England. Ooh. Have you ever been to England? No. But I reckon they do football.
They probably do.
They call soccer football, don't they? Let's put soccer in the game.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yikes.
Maybe it is just more of a combo, and that's why it feels a bit weird to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just like a mishmash of like...
Mishmash.
Yeah. So next up, we had Evergreen Harbor.
Oh, yeah.
And like, okay, I understand that EA is based over in this general vicinity, but this is also the Pacific Northwest. It's supposed to be like a harbor town in the Pacific Northwest in the northwestern United States. Because is EA where exactly is EA based?
California, I thought Max's was California.
Redwood City, Northern California.
Aha.
That'll do it. Yep. So
yeah.
I feel like it's a lot of people who live in the northwestern United States who are like, let's make another world based off the northwestern United States.
Yeah, because I was thinking that it could possibly be kind of like Scandinavian a bit, but not really. Like
it did
modern.
come with a lot of like IKEA looking kind of furniture.
But I mean, it doesn't look like historically like
no.
Scandinavia, no. But
and
or indeed Canada. But then again, yeah, if you're on the border of like Washington and then Vancouver's right there. Yeah. I'm looking at a map just for all the folks at home because I would not know this.
No, she wouldn't. I like the world of Evergreen Harbor. I think it's actually one of my favorite worlds.
Oh,
you know what? No, I love it.
Doesn't tickle my pickle.
I like that it has some like very distinct areas. Like it has that big industrial area. And then like the more suburban-y neighborhoods kind of behind it. I don't know. I like it. I like the way that they did it.
I don't dislike it. I just have very little opinion of it, really. It's just one of those ones I kind of forget exists.
So after that one, we had Journey to Batu. And I have no idea what this is supposed to be based on, honestly. I've never heard of a place called Batu.
There is technically a place called Batu that you can go visit because it's in Disney World or Disneyland, one of them.
Oh, so maybe it's based on Disney.
No, but the whole thing is
I'm kidding.
Just
obviously this is meant to be
no, but it's like it literally is.
Yeah.
The only place that this concept exists is in one of the Disney parks, like the Star Wars bit.
Yeah.
So it's just like a continuation from the Star Wars rides at Disney. Yeah. There's not even any lore that kind of, apparently, I mean, maybe it is connected to the movies in some way, but I've never fucking heard of it, and I love Star Wars.
Yeah. I don't.
Well, I like old Star Wars.
I don't recall. I haven't really watched the new movies, so.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of them in the cinema, but I lose track of what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
It's too many people, too many names.
I never use this world. There's nowhere to be. There's not even a buildable lot in this world.
And I've done some of the Journey to Batu gameplay, which we talked about last time, and it's fucking bollocks. Yeah, it annoys me.
It's not great. So moving right along from that.
Yeah, skippity, skip.
Next up, we had Snowy Escape, which came with Mount Komorebi.
Japan.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be based on 2 Japanese islands. And I guess I can try and pronounce these, and I'm going to apologize in advance. Honshu and Hokkaido. Or Hokkaido?
Hokkaido, isn't it?
Hokkaido? That does sound right. That sounds more right than what I said. But I mean, I definitely, not that I've been to Japan, but I feel like they did a fairly good job with this one. I like this world. I think it's a very nice world.
I don't choose it that often because it's just a bit snowy.
Yep. Agreed.
I like the variety of all the seasons, you know?
Yeah.
So I very rarely, for that reason, also pick, like, ever since I got seasons, I hardly ever go to Strangerville or Oasis Springs because they don't get snow and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, this is a fun fact that I'm seeing in the wiki. Mount Komorebi is the second world to have cars drive on the left side. The first one is Brightchester.
Oh, that's weird. Oh,
I've never noticed that.
I have never noticed that.
That's fun.
I mean, that, again, a Brightchester thing trying to make, it's England.
Yeah.
It's very confusing to me.
Yeah.
'Cause it just doesn't feel like it at all.
No. I mean, the next one, though, is
Oh, ho, ho.
Henford on Bagley. And I know you have thoughts.
Henford on Bagley is 99.999% perfection. It's my favorite world. It is exactly like, well, no, okay, it's not exactly like where I live, because it's based on the Cotswolds.
Yes.
Which are about an hour away from me.
Okay.
But, you know, similar area. I live in a kind of on the outskirts of some farm kind of bits, and yeah, it's very much that. And I think that they did a good job picking a rural area so that they could have the lots separated, because otherwise, if they were going to do, this is the other reason why Brightchester annoys me, if they're going to do anywhere urban, suburban built up in the UK, you cannot have lots that don't touch each other. That's just not what we have.
Yeah, because all your houses are just kind of like, I mean, not all of them. I'm being very stereotypical here. But like, they're all pretty connected.
Yeah, and even if you have like a detached house, it will be on a street and there will be a couple of meters between you and the next house.
Yeah.
And that's that, you know, even if it's like, oh, we've got a detached house, like everything's really close together. There's very little space over here. Yeah. So yeah, like I live on a terrace that's like 50 houses all in a row.
Yeah.
Nobody's got a separate one.
No.
And it's very
I
old
have like a backyard, a front yard. I have yard on the side of my house. Like and even for like us, like we're pretty close to our neighbors for like the amount of yard space that we have.
Is it detached then?
Yeah. Yeah. My house is, I live in like a Cape Cod style house. So like think like Brindleton Bay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So hang on. What were we on? Henford on Bagley.
I see what you mean about Henford on Bagley.
Yes, it is very reminiscent of like the southwest of England, which is my jam. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Big up the Somerset Massif, which technically the Cotswolds, I think, is in Gloucester, one of the shires. Anyway, hence the name the Shire, because all of the counties around here have got a shire, apart from Somerset. Anyway, I can't not talk in that accent when I start talking about it, but
right.
My main problem, the other thing that I like is the fact that the little town centre bit, like the middle bit, all the houses are connected.
Yes.
You can't live in them.
No.
But there's kind of like a terrace and there's like people who presumably live above the shops and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, that's cute. I do wish they were livable. The day that we get mixed-use lots will be the greatest day of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even just a lot where you can build up to the edge.
Yeah.
I can't just build to the edge and then I can build the next one to the edge.
I know. That would be so nice. It's never going to happen.
Okay, my real problem with cottage living and the inconsistencies is the food.
The food?
Because number one, scones are fucking triangular. I have never seen a triangular scone in my life. You do not get triangle. They're round over here, all right? Like, that looks like what Americans call a biscuit, and it's fucking odd.
I feel like if
that?
I think of a scone, it's triangular. So that's definitely more of an American thing. I've never had a scone.
Really?
Really?
Right. If I ever come visit, I'm going to make scones.
Okay.
Because they're great. Love a scone and a Welsh cake. They're similar, but they're Welsh. Yeah, so scones are triangular, not round, which is dumb. And the other thing is Yorkshire pudding. So you can eat Yorkshire puddings in the game. Yeah. And it's like you cook one Yorkshire pudding and then just eat it with gravy. And that's just like, that would be like having one roast potato. What the fuck? Like, that's just not, it's a thing that goes with your roast dinner.
So it's like, okay, so you would need to like make it in a batch, basically.
Well, I mean, you could make one. You wouldn't eat it on its own. That would be insane. That would be such a weird thing to do. That would be like just drinking gravy instead of making a roast dinner. Like, that's so weird. I'm trying to think of something that you put on like the side of your roast dinners.
Yeah,
but
a roast potato would make sense. A roast potato, making one roast potato. Yeah.
Or like one honey roasted parsnip.
Yeah.
Be like, that's going to be my meal for the day. Yeah. And it's like, that doesn't, what? That's fucking weird. Yeah, you have the Yorkshire pudding. And traditionally, Yorkshire pudding goes with beef. Occasionally you get a big Yorkshire pudding and all the other food is put inside it.
I feel like Sims like doesn't do meals well.
No.
You know what I mean? Because like even think about like you can make salads, which is fine. Like there are definitely salads that you can eat just a salad. But like a lot of the times the salad is going to be like part of a bigger meal, or it's going to be an appetizer to your meal.
Yeah.
You know, the only time that they really do like a full kind of like dinner is like the grand meals.
The grand meals, yeah.
Like the Winterfest and things like that, where it's like very clearly you're making like a ham dinner that has like potatoes and vegetables on the side. And, you know, like it seems like a full meal rather than just like, here's a burger or a soup or, you know.
Do you know what my favorite thing about Sims 1 was? Food-wise. So pizza, I know generally people eat pizza with their hands, but a lot of the time I eat pizza with a knife and fork just because it's easier. Because sometimes it's a bit floppy.
Easier. That's not easier. That's
weird.
Yeah,
it is.
It's not.
Okay, well, I consider it quite normal to eat pizza with a knife and fork. Please tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, I want to know about that. That's weird.
Yeah, but that's like, it's not the way that you always do it, but it is a thing. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that they do is they eat burgers with a knife and fork.
That's weird.
That's just like that's never a thing. That's never a thing.
No, you shouldn't do that.
They eat pizza with their hands, which like there's an option, I feel, and then a burger you eat with your hands, but they eat it with a knife and fork, and I just always found that hilarious when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder if it was like an animation thing where like just eating food they had to use utensils.
But they do. But the pizza they pick up.
I don't know. Listen, I don't work for The Sims, okay?
Yes, you do, Renee. Just accept it. Stop denying this.
Well, they're not paying me, so
no,
they should get on that.
I thought you were an EA shill. I thought that was the whole deal.
Yeah, I am. I wish they would pay me. But anyway,
we're nearly up to...
We're almost there. We're almost at the end. So the next one is Tartosa.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like Mediterranean, obviously.
That seems right.
Yeah. The wiki says coastal Italy, Croatia, southeastern coastal Spain, southern France, etc. I feel like that's a lot of places.
That is a lot of places.
I feel more Italy.
I felt kind of Greek vibes.
Greek, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, for sure.
Kind of like Greek, Greece, Cyprus, kind of like the islands.
Yeah.
Off Greece and also off Spain.
I could see that. I like Tartosa. I think it's very pretty. I don't use it all that often, but I do like the world.
I've only done one thing there, which, well, I started one Let's Play there that I never finished.
Yeah.
And I also turned Dr. Gluon's giant baby shell into a baby museum.
Of course.
I did that in Tartosa.
Yeah,
I remember that. I know. On the coast, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Giant baby.
So that one makes sense. And then we moved on to Moonwood Mill, and I'm going to give you 3 guesses as to where Moonwood Mill is supposed to be.
Oh, is it the northwest coast of the United States?
It is, in fact, the Pacific Northwest of the United States.
There we go. States. I forgot what you called it. I forgot the Pacific Northwest thing.
It is. Which, I mean, again, I'm going to say it does make sense. It's a forest town. It had like the whole lumber industry kind of situation going on. Like that's the backstory of Moonwood Mill. So I get it. But like,
I feel like it should be more like, hang on, where's Minnesota?
Minnesota's like in the middle, up top.
Because I was feeling more like there, like Fargo vibes.
It'd be a lot more snowy.
Oh, you're right.
A lot more snowy. It'd be very cold.
Really would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No, I mean, with the lumber industry, Pacific Northwest totally makes sense. I see it. I get it. I get it. But at the same time,
context.
like, can we find somewhere else? Maybe. Do we have at what point do we have too many worlds that are Pacific Northwest based?
Who on the Sims team is from Washington State? Like, that's what we need to know. Who is going, hey, you know what would be a great one?
Pacific Northwest. And they're like, wow, never been done before. No one's ever seen a Sims world in the Pacific Northwest.
This is a bit more, I think this is getting a bit more specific as well, because a lot of people not from the US think of, like, The Sims is ultimately an American simulator rather than a life simulator because of all the cultural differences that are just such a given.
Yeah.
In The Sims 1, for instance, for like you. And I'm playing it going, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
This is a weird Sims thing. No, it's not. It's how Americans live their lives.
And I mean, like, again, like I get it. Like the team that creates The Sims is from the United States. They're working with what they know best. And I feel like every time they do kind of do something that's outside of, the realm of the United States where they are comfortable and they're in their zone, they get called out on doing things that are, not appropriate or not correct because they're just kind of doing the best that they can with what they're given. So I get why they would want to stick with what they know.
I do take that, and I know that a lot of the controversies around Snowy Escape and various cultural and historical things being like, ooh, big no-nos, and maybe that would be difficult to know, but I feel like you can Google what shape a scone is in the UK.
Yes, yeah.
Right, it's my job today to model a scone. What do scones look like? Oh, number one, they have fucking raisins in. They're round and they have raisins in. Like, I don't like that. I like a plain scone.
Yeah.
But traditionally, and also they have jam and cream in them, and it's part of a cream tea, and you have a cup of tea. And this fucking triangle nonsense. I'm just like, what is that?
I'm sorry about the triangle.
It really bothers me, and I can tell. I'm sorry.
I can tell. I can see that.
It's just like, I don't know. But yeah, but at the same time, that isn't really a cultural boo-boo. That's just slightly annoying me.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like checking that is very difficult. And the fact is they had like 4 English game changers working on that pack. Who at some point could have said, Yorkshire pudding isn't a meal on its own.
Right.
It's one tiny element of a main meal. And why have you got 8 on a plate?
Yeah.
With nothing else but gravy. That's so bizarre.
Yeah, I feel like the research team maybe isn't getting paid enough over at EA.
Yeah.
Maybe they need a little bit of a raise to do their jobs properly sometimes.
What's next?
So after that one, we went to Copperdale.
I have no context. I have no idea what that's supposed to be.
Copperdale is supposed to be in the Rocky Mountains of the United States, which, surprise, is right next to the Pacific Northwest United States.
Wow.
So Copperdale is supposed to be like, I would say like Colorado kind of area.
Oh, yeah. Denver?
Denver.
Boulder. Aurora. Those are places in Colorado that I'm reading off a map.
I mean, Copperdale had a similar vibe to Moonwood Mill, in my opinion, where it was a former mining town. The lumber industry, the mining town. So I don't think
I've ever actually opened that world.
I love Copperdale. Copperdale's probably one of my favorites, top 3, I would say.
But you like all of the learning-based packs.
I do.
Which I have no interest in whatsoever. I do.
I love it. But yeah, I mean, I like Copperdale. It makes sense. It's very rocky. It has like the mountains in the background. It's like tucked in a little valley. So I get it.
Yeah. And then
we move on to the most recent one, which is San Sequoia.
Which I literally have never opened. So I have
San Sequoia is a very pretty world.
I've seen the video, social stuff about it, but I haven't been there. What is it supposed to be?
It's
like San Francisco type.
Because it has the bridge in the back. It's definitely inspired by San Francisco. It doesn't snow in San Sequoia, so it makes sense. It's also like a little fishing town.
Okay,
it's got the big bridge. I just wish there were like a couple more lots, because when you go into San Sequoia and you're playing in San Sequoia, the neighborhood is very dense, and there's a lot of those like fake houses around.
Oh,
and I feel like at least 2 or 3 more of those could have been lots. It's too late now, isn't it?
I'm sad.
Yeah.
I'm sad that the bridge is just grey.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have had a joke. Like,
they should have
make
made
it green or red or blue and be like the Blue Gate Bridge or something. I don't know.
I mean, the Golden Gate Bridge is red, so.
All right, not red then, but
blue.
It's reddy orange. It's goldenish.
Yeah.
Goldeny red.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of it. Okay. My parents went there.
Oh, well,
my parents have been to all sorts of exciting places over the US, but they didn't take me.
No, why would they? But yeah, no, I like San Sequoia. I think it's very pretty. I've been playing in that one a lot lately because I've been playing with my my SimCells family since Growing Together came out.
Oh yeah.
So we have 3 children, me and my husband, me and
of course
Rob. 3 children, which is 1 child too many, but I really wanted a girl, so my middle child is kind of ignored at this point.
Oh no.
I know, poor kid.
What are they called?
So my oldest son is named Jude.
Nice.
My middle son is named Lachlan.
Okay.
and my daughter, my youngest child, is named Vera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what mine were, because I also had 3 kids with my partner when I first got, like, because that's what I do. The first time I make a Sims game, I make my Sim self.
Of course.
And my little family at that time, which obviously in The Sims 1, I was a child and my brother and my parents were there.
Yeah.
And then obviously when I got Sims 4, I was a young adult. Thank you.
Yep.
And I decided that me and Tony would have kids. He's only slightly creeped out by that when he comes to my game. And I'm like, hey, look, it's our children. And he's like, yeah.
Oh, I tell Rob all about it. And he
weird.
loves it. He gets so excited to hear about what our kids are doing. Yeah, it's really precious.
Oh, Tony finds it ever so slightly creepy, which I think a lot of people do when they're made in The Sims and they live out life with them.
He constantly comes in and asks me for updates on our little family. It's adorable.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are my children called? I think they were called Harriet was one of them.
Of course. Yep.
And I think that there was an Elliot or an Ellie. I don't know. I feel like maybe there was either Harry or Harriet and either Elliot or Ellie, and I can't remember which way around. And there was 3 of them. And the eldest, I think, was Harriet, was the blonde one, and she was the one I started playing with next. And then I got a notification that I died.
Oh.
No, it wasn't me. No, it was Tony.
Oh, no.
I played with another family. And obviously I'd been giving them like potion of life stuff because I didn't want them to die. And I just got a notification in the corner that said Tony had died. And I was like, I don't like it. I don't want to play this anymore. Tony. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It made me sad.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just felt weird because I was like, I wasn't going to let them die yet. But also when were they going to die if I was... Because like they'd had grandchildren by that point. And,
it's time.
They had like a toddler. Well, we have talked for long enough, I think.
Yeah,
How long?
I think, 2 hours almost.
Woof.
Which is about last time, too. So I think that's it's going to be a pretty consistent thing going forward.
Hopefully when I get rid of all the bullshit, this is going to sound great.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I hope everyone enjoyed us, delving a little bit to some Sims lore and talking about the Sims worlds and all that fun stuff. It was a good time. I enjoyed it.
It's been educational. I've learned some things.
Yeah.
It's been quite exciting. And we've been talking about possibly having some guests involved.
That is true.
In the future.
That might be happening.
So that is a thing. But if other than that you have any suggestions or ideas of what you would like us to talk about, do, get in touch. We've got a Twitter for the podcast, which is Guilty as Sim. And then obviously peafrogsims and hiphiprenee YT.
Yes.
We need to find that.
I couldn't get hiphiprenee. I know. She hasn't been active for like years.
Yeah, something like 12 years or something. Yeah. Like since Twitter arrived.
I don't think I'm ever getting that username. It is what it is.
Maybe we could find her.
Yeah, maybe. I'll have to hunt her down.
Renee, give us your username.
Can I please have your Twitter name?
We're going to have problems ending again.
We are going to have problems ending again.
Do you want to just shout end again?
So that was it. Thanks for coming, everyone, because that was the Guilty as Sim podcast.
Thank you for having us in your ears.
Okay, bye. End.
Bye.
End.
See, bye.
Bye.
End.
Full
stop.
Stop.
Period.
Goodbye.